January 25th.
Temperatures are recovering, but we know we have Groundhog Day on Monday, which has our fate for the rest of winter, but your details on your forecast coming up next.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, a late-night breakthrough on Capitol Hill. Lawmakers strike a deal to keep the government running, but not without some tense moments. Plus, Michigan lawmakers consider new bills that would affect ICE operations in the state. And we'll show you more of how NMU is helping out with security for the return of the UP 200. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. A first look at your forecast as we are getting ready for Saturday and Sunday. That's the last of To See Before what Punxsutawney Phil has to say. But for tomorrow, we do get that relief in the temperatures. We will all see some rays of sunshine, which will slightly help to warm things up, and we'll round it off into the lower 20s. And those recovering wind chill values finally going to be above zero. Not by too much, but it's at least some relief. I'll talk about the rest of the weekend and a quick look at the week ahead in just a few short minutes.
Kelly, thank you very much. The Senate tonight pushed a spending package across the finish line. Under a deal between Senate Democrats and President Trump, lawmakers separated DHS funding from the rest of the spending measures to fund the agency for 2 weeks. Senate Democrats initially threatened to vote against the package after federal immigration agents killed 2 Minneapolis residents. The compromise hit a snag earlier tonight when Republican Lindsey Graham put a hold on the vote, but later got on board.
The American people are crying out for change. They see what's happening on our streets.
Hold the people accountable in ICE who may have broken the law, but stand up for those in the field trying to protect America.
The 2-week extension for the Department of Homeland Security was put into work on new rules for federal agents involved in ICE operations, but the House still needs to vote on it. Michigan lawmakers are considering a package of bills aimed at protecting sensitive locations from federal immigration enforcement. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy reports from Lansing.
Michigan's Senate Committee on Civil Rights, Judiciary, and Public Safety heard hours of testimony on bills aimed to make changes to immigration enforcement in the state.
Children born here in Michigan whose parents have been detained and deported by our federal government are now living in fear.
The package contains 3 bills, one which requires immigration enforcement to wear and drive identifiable uniforms in vehicles. Another limits the way departments can share information with immigration enforcement, and the other limits the spaces they're allowed to operate in.
Michiganders deserve to live free of fear and persecution from their very own government.
Tribal leaders with the Sault Ste. Marie tribe spoke about the anxiety and generational trauma caused by masked federal agents operating without transparency.
The recent rise of masked federal agents operating throughout the country to detain individuals, often without badges or any indication of what agency they're from, has led to increased fear and anxiety in our country and throughout Indian country.
Critics argue they could complicate law enforcement operations and interfere with federal immigration enforcement, putting state law above federal law in ways that could create confusion and unintended consequences for public safety. Supporters countered that the bills increase accountability and transparency, ensuring residents' rights are protected while still allowing necessary law enforcement exceptions.
The proposed changes before you today would add a level of accountability and transparency that would start rebuilding the public's trust in law enforcement activity. It would help quell some of the fear and anxiety sweeping across the nation, the state and tribal communities, and it would also hopefully restore adherence to the rule of law.
The bills are still waiting on action in committee before they can be sent back to the Senate. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
The Lake Superior Community Partnership held its first breakfast and business meeting of the year this morning, focusing on the UP's economic outlooks for 2026. WZMQ's Andrew Hands has more.
In the Upper Peninsula, economic trends can follow differently than the rest of the Midwest. This tends to draw a line between economic developments and community standards. To look through the lens of different UP experts on some outlooks for 2026, the LSCP welcomed a panel of guests to discuss a few future projections. During the meeting, disagreements were seen between NMU economic professor Joshua Ingber and Invest UP CEO Marty Fatante on how growth can be obtained in the Upper Peninsula. Ingber took considerations on how places like Traverse City have boomed, while Fatante says across the UP, culture and community are what drives its own local growing economy. LSCP CEO Christopher Germain says these elements are what makes events like its Breakfast and Business series so necessary.
Breakfast and Business, this is exactly what it's supposed to be, right? Which is this, we share ideas, we discuss ideas, we don't always have to agree with each other on what happens. And so clearly we had some hard economic data and what that says, and we had more like what we feel on the ground and what we really experience. If we can't talk about those things, we don't get the benefit of either of them.
Into the year ahead, Fatante teased at an upcoming for-profit venture fund that will invest into innovative projects out of Michigan Tech, only one of 6 similar programs in the country. Marquette will also see an economic development foundation beginning in May.
So really excited by the fact that this is being stood up in the Upper Peninsula.
On the LSCP's plans of 2026, Germain announced his departure as CEO in early summer, stating the partnership's ideals will remain the same through the transition.
I have announced I'm stepping down. It's really a personally driven decision. Just I have to be closer to family. The good news is I'm not going anywhere until we've identified my successor, until we've had a chance to onboard them while I'm still here, so that our partners and our communities feel like we don't skip a beat.
The LSCP will host its next Breakfast in Business on Friday, March 27th. In Marquette, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
The UP 200 is only 2 weeks away, and the volunteers who make this race possible are making final preparations. Our own John Truitt takes a look at what security will look like on the big night.
As one of the most popular events in the UP, crowd control and safety are top concerns. And assisting in that job are criminal justice students from Northern Michigan University.
We provide upwards of 25 to 30 of our students who are really a help to the citizens downtown and the whole event, and it's just a great time.
Over 24 CJ students will be out in force, making sure everyone remains safe. Officials stress the importance of common sense.
Dress warm, for sure. Hats, gloves, and then when you get there, just mind the barriers, stay behind the barriers because those teams are going by pretty fast.
Wearing yellow vests, the student volunteers will be clearly visible along the route through downtown. McMaster advises situational awareness. If you see something, say something.
By all means, reach out and let us know, and then we can hopefully get that resolved.
Of particular concern is people crossing the route in front of the dogs.
Please just use the designated areas to cross. I mean, when there is no dog sleds coming, that's when you can use those areas. Please don't be ducking underneath the barricades. That's not a good thing. There's always risk for injury there.
NMU's ethos is deeply rooted in service to the community, a perfect fit for these CJ students.
It's very rewarding. I'd say anytime being able to go out and help and serve is just, I think everyone should in their lifetime serve in some way, in some aspect.
And so we say thank you to the volunteers from NMU, keeping Marquette's premier winter event safe for everyone. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
In Rapid River, this weekend marks 2 decades of fun, friendship, and braving the cold for a group of snowmobilers. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons has the story.
Enjoy the ride.
The 20th annual Rapid River Relic Ride took off just after noon on Friday.
We're going up to the ski hill today. They've been kind enough to donate that to us, and we're going to have lunch by the Perkins Lions Club. All the proceeds go back to mainly scholarships. Today, people will bring canned food and some cash, and that goes to our local churches.
This year's ride is made up of about 300 snowmobilers, a welcome sight compared to last year when the ride portion of the weekend was canceled due to a lack of snow.
Perfect conditions today. It's not too cold. It's warmed up a little bit. It's perfect. The sleds run good in this weather.
On Saturday, snowmobilers will line Main Street for the annual show and swap, featuring antique and vintage sleds.
We got Scorpion, Ski Whiz, Snowjet, Polaris, Skidoos, Arctic Cat, Fox Track.
There's 2 strokes, there's 4 strokes. You got the older sleds that are really fun to ride. They all sound different. They all got different fuel mixtures. They drive by, you can tell tell what kind of fuel mixtures they got.
Many of these relic riders have been here all 20 years, and some grew up with it.
I'm 20 years old. I started when I was 2 with the ride, and then when I was 1 with the show.
I've been going on the relic rides since I was 9. Now I'm 21 years old.
Right now, the relic riders are hoping to bring new members in to keep the tradition going strong.
First time I went on a snowmobile, I had no socks on, and I was in tennis shoes, and I was wearing pants and a t-shirt. No hoodie on or anything. You just got to do it yourself. It's just really fun.
And with such an enthusiastic group of snowmobilers, the relic riders are optimistic about the next 20 years.
You don't get many opportunities to have this much fun. We get all kinds of people that come out here, and we're all doing it for the same reason, you know? We all love snowmobiles, and we all like to be outside, so it's just a good time.
Reporting in Rapid River, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
We have your first warning weather forecast when we come back. Plus, in this week's Medical Minute, we're speaking with another doctor with OSF Healthcare about what to look out for this flu season. We'll be right back.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
If you don't have final expense insurance, this message is for you. Life Care provides valuable whole life insurance to help cover final expenses, medical bills, burial costs, and unpaid debt. A final expense insurance policy is fast, easy, affordable life insurance, available to anyone between the ages of 50 and 80. No medical exams, no lengthy questionnaires, and no waiting period. To find out how you can get final expense insurance with a guaranteed lifetime rate lock, call 800-309-8594.
I'm managing a business and we have a lot of kids. First National's online banking makes it easier to keep everything together. We can do mobile check deposits and our recurring bills are just automatically withdrawn. Our son is getting ready to head to school, and with our accounts linked, we can easily transfer him funds and we can monitor his spending. The time that we spend together is most important to me. First National mobile app makes that happen. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Learn more at fnbimk.com.
Wanda Sykes' new persona, DJ Snippets.
I'm a good DJ for people with ADHD. I keep it moving. They're like, yeah, this is my song. I go, no, it's not.
And a high school production of Dreamgirls.
Connect with your emotions.
Plus, celebrate Black history.
You can go out and create history today.
On J-Hood.
The Jennifer Hudson Show, Monday at 4 on WZMQ CBS. Followed by The Kelly Clarkson Show at 5 and 19 News at 6. Watch The Medical Minute, Thursdays at 6 and 11, only on 19 News. Brought to you by OSF Healthcare.
Corporal O'Reilly goes by many names.
Big Daddy O'Reilly.
I'm Walter O'Radar. I'm Walter O'Reilly.
But to us, he'll always be...
Radar! Radar! Radar!
That's me.
MASH, weekdays and Sundays at 7. Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We are continuing to slowly climb up those temperatures. We saw 6, 8, and 9, and we've been gradually climbing up by a few degrees. 11 for today. The average is 21. We will get very close to there, if not at 21 or maybe even 22 for tomorrow. So this is kind of the last of those well below average days consecutively, and just shy of 3 inches of snow. I don't think we'll see too much more snow, fresh snowfall this weekend, and the temperatures will improve. So breaking it down one by one, as for the temperatures, we start to rebound to those seasonal conditions and even slightly mild at times, especially for Sunday. And the reasoning for that really comes down to, well, a bunch of things, but the wind is the main component. For the snow, we are continuing to have this dry pattern and maybe a few flurries for Sunday evening, but overall not tracking any major snow systems, not seeing too much in the way of that to impact travel or any outdoor plans. So it's a great weekend to get outside and enjoy some ice skating, some sledding. I know there's lots of different activities across the UP. I'm sure you have something planned, but even if you don't, we at least maybe won't have to have the heat on as much. It just depends on your comfortability. But the wind shifts from the northerly flow to the southerly flow. That's instantly going to bring some of that relief for the temperatures. But as for the snow on your first warning weather futurecast, not much here. You'll see the clouds move in and out. We'll get some sunshine for tomorrow. I think you'll see sun at some point, but it may not be very long lived, but we will see some of it for tomorrow, and that will cause the feels like temperatures. You can see that little burst here of when we see 20, 22, maybe even 25 for the feels like temperatures. So that's a win. That's a lot of relief, and that's when the temperature and the feels like temperature are basically going to match because it's not going to have that wind chill factor. So as for the temperatures, we coast near normal, maybe slightly colder once we get to that 10-day outlook, but I do think throughout the weekend, even if it's just by a little bit, you're going to feel the relief. It's not going to be that very bitter cold that we saw pretty recently. And again, if you just want to continue hibernating, that's completely fine, but maybe take a peek outside on Sunday. The peak illumination for this full moon, the snow moon, is at 5:09 p.m. Also mark your calendars. Tuesday, March 3rd is the total lunar eclipse, and we'll be able to see that maximum eclipse time at 6:33 in the morning. So a couple different exciting things for those of you that like to look up in the sky and see some fun things with the moon and the stars. And right now, that ice cover for a lot of people that like to go out and do some ice fishing or anything pertaining to the frozen lake with some ice skating as well. Just be careful of the ice thickness, but overall, at least for the immediate coast here, we should be okay. But again, just check it. And overall, Lake Superior has 23% ice coverage. With that being said, get out and enjoy because we're snow free basically for the weekend, maybe a few flurries for Sunday night, and we'll see what our fate holds for the rest of winter with Punxsutawney Phil. Slightly colder for Tuesday, then we rebound back to the mid-20s with a few snow flurries for the rest of the week.
Kelly, thank you again. In our continuing partnership with OSF Healthcare, we're talking with another doctor, this time going over what to watch out for this flu season. Here's this week's Medical Minute. Dr. Olson, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about the flu. What are the most common flu symptoms and how long can they last?
Well, the flu symptoms aren't that much different than the common cold, but they tend to be more intense and last longer, and they come on suddenly. Instead of a few days, they can come up in hours. Typically headache, body aches, sore throat, sinus congestion, runny nose, cough. Sometimes we'll see diarrhea and vomiting, but that's usually in children.
So what can someone do at home to help treat or alleviate their symptoms?
Well, there's no killing the flu. There's no antibiotics don't work. There's no stopping it, but you can treat your symptoms. Most commonly, we prescribe acetaminophen or ibuprofen. Those would be brand names Tylenol or Motrin, Advil. They treat fever, body aches and pains, some degree the sore throat as well. For sore throat, saltwater gargles, lozenges. You're going to need a lot of rest and a lot of fluids, especially with fevers that persist. The body burns up more water, so lots of fluid. And staying hydrated is important. The cough suppressants, guaifenesin is a medication that's included in a lot of over-the-counter cough suppressants, which helps break up mucus so you can clear the chest a little better.
Sure, and those don't always do the job. So when should someone consider seeking medical help, would you say?
As I said, antibiotics do nothing, but there are some antivirals. What they do, short of killing the virus, they interrupt its replication, its reproduction within the body. So if we start those early, we can slow the process down. Maybe the illness will not be as intense or last as long, but the medication needs to start within the first 48 to 72 hours. So the people who need that population, older than 65, younger than 2, and those people with immune compromised illnesses or medications taken for illnesses that disrupt their immune system, people with heart disease and diabetes, and certainly with lung disease such as asthma or COPD, because they'll have a harder time breathing. The flu can trigger a exacerbation of their problems.
All right, I got it. Dr. Olson, thank you so much for taking the time for us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mike Ludlum has your Friday night sports highlights after the break. We'll show you how NMU hockey fared against Bemidji State tonight. That and more when we come back.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order. With 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
Closed captioning sponsored by Range Bank of Upper Michigan.
If you've been injured in an accident, do not settle for less. Call the Sentinel Group now. Our lawyers specialize in injury cases and help clients recover the best settlements. If you sustained injuries from a slip and fall, auto collision, bicycle collision, dog bite, workplace injury, or any other accident through no fault of your own, call the Sentinel Group now. The consultation is free.
Call 800-510-4378. 800-510-4378.
It's one of our biggest sales of the year. Get this Ashley sofa for just $339. Get up to 60% off list during our huge President's Day sale at Slumberland Furniture. Get this reclining sofa for just $499. A Lazy Boy recliner for just $399. Get a Sealy Posturepedic mattress for just $799 with a free adjustable base. Pay no interest for up to 60 months on select purchases with approved credit. The huge President's Day sale at Slumberland. Absolutely the best time to buy.
Get in the game at Connery Sports in Iron Mountain. Our newly expanded storefront is packed full of sports cards, memorabilia, and the latest sports apparel. Whether you're chasing Pokemon cards for the kids or seeking one-of-a-kind collectibles and vintage gems, our expanded space has something for everyone. If you're a diehard fan or just starting your collection, Connery Sports supplies everything you need to fuel your sports passion. Swing by today at 617 North Stevenson Avenue for something to rep your favorite team.
Pure Outdoor is the first program dedicated to increasingly popular outdoor and eco sports. Pure Outdoor.
Good evening, everyone. We'll start at the Barrie Event Center. The NMU hockey team looking for a winning streak. Bemidji State, the last time the Beavers won, when they played NMU back in November. They're 0-9-2 since then. Let's go to the Barrie. The Wildcats made quick work to put Bemidji in a hole early. 54 seconds into the contest, Clark Warren from the blue line just zings that one into the net, and the Wildcats have a 1-0 lead. About 15 minutes later, Tobias Pitka made it a multi-score game as he buries that one, and the Wildcats are up by a pair. And that's how it would stay all the way through. Oliver Ayung Ashton with a very good performance, 38 saves on the night. The Cats pick up their first shutout since March 2nd of 2024, 2-0. Let's hear from the coach.
Loss. There's segments in the game as a coach you really liked, and other segments where we got to do a better job.
Yeah, I think just building off the momentum that we gained from last weekend was huge. Getting that win against our rival in that arena like that was definitely big for our team.
NMU will try to get its first weekend series sweep since March of 2024. Tomorrow night face-off at 6:07. Meanwhile, Michigan Tech in a battle for first place against St. Thomas tonight. And the Tommies get on the board first in the second period. Alex Gaffney from Ryan O'Neill off a Husky turnover. That made it 1-0 at 3:51. 14-19, Noah Reinhardt will tie it from Callum Parker and Elias Janssen. But Michigan Tech would get doubled up in this one. St. Thomas takes it by the score of 4-2. On the board, Augustana now moves into second place after defeating Lake Superior State 6-1, so the Huskies are back in third. Minnesota State all over Ferris 6-1. Bowling Green and Notre Dame play to a tie at 3. Big Ten hockey, Michigan over Ohio State 6-4. The Spartans beat Penn State 6-3, and it was Minnesota upending Wisconsin 4-1. A number of UP high school hockey teams are down in the Lower Peninsula at the Trenton Showcase. This is Escanaba's Nolan Bink tying the score in the first period against Bloomfield Hills Cranbrook Kingswood. Then midway through the period, it is Bink scoring again with Hunter Allen and Hank Schulten assisting 2-1 Escanaba. Then with 3 seconds left in the period, Nick Martinson's going to poke that one in, and Escanaba had a 3-1 lead going into the third period. 6 minutes into that period, it's Graham Johnson to Ben Sands. That's 4-1, and Escanaba would keep right on going, and Owen Labonte would get a goal as well. Escanaba wins this one by the count of 6-2. The Eskimos will take on the Howell Highlanders tomorrow in that Trenton Showcase. Also from the Trenton Showcase, Kirby Storm a hat trick for Hancock. Adam Mikula 19 saves. Bulldogs over Brother Rice 4-2. The Troy Catholic Central blanks Calumet 4-0. Houghton gets goals from Connor Arco and Brody Donnelly. Cooper Flax with 24 saves as the Gremlins beat Matawan 2-0. Marquette in the late game defeated Riverview Gabriel Richard 4-1. Colin Hart's 2 goals. Parker Nevenhoven 35 saves. Sault Ste. Marie lost to Grand Rapids Christian 5-2. Elsewhere in hockey, Northland Pines upends Kingsford 3-2 in overtime. Nick Scullion 38 saves for the Flivers, and Petoskey blanks Manistee 8-0. Boys high school basketball. How about Kingsford hosting Escanaba? We're in the first quarter. Jack Kriegel is going to drive and bounce that one in politely over the backboard, and that tied the game at 2. He had 12. The other way, Braden Cooper will go down the lane, spin, and put that one in. He had 17. Eskimos back in front. Escanaba stayed ahead for a good portion of the first quarter as the basket here is by Haven Sandoval Nolde. That made it 6-2. And Lenny Peacock would drive and hit a bucket. He ended up with 18 on the night. Flippers respond quickly. Jet Buckley will get 3. He ended up with 14. Kingsford survives a rough first quarter and wins 66-52. To the board, Menominee over Marquette 55-40. Westwood 72, Manistee 35. North Dickinson takes care of Bark River Harris 52-29. Nordics will face Forest Park on Monday. Trojans beat North Central 72-39. Dollar Bay tiptoes past Jeffers 51-50. Ironwood upends Wakefield Marinesco 47-38. Iron Mountain a dozen better than Ishpeming. Negaunee all over Gwyn. Norway 53, Stevenson 25. Kearney 805 better than Mid-Peninsula. Bessemer beats Ontonagon by 2 touchdowns. And Seth Oberlin with 26 points. West Iron County 53, Calumet 38. Lakeland and Hubble downs Hancock 63-40. Pickford slides by Engadine by 35. It is Rudyard 54, St. Ignace 42, and Cadillac drops the Sioux 66-59. On the girls' side, Negaunee easily over Escanaba. Lily Johnson had 27 points for Gladstone in an 8-point win over Calumet. She needs 22 more on Tuesday to reach 2,000 for her career. Hancock 13 better than Gwyn, and Mellon defeated Watersmead 58-35. Big Ten basketball. Let's go to East Lansing, where Tom Izzo was celebrating his 71st birthday against Michigan. He is 8-1 on his birthday, in case you wanted to know. Trey McKinney, bang, knocks that one down. Michigan with a huge first half, up 16 at that point. At the end of the half, Cohen Carr is going to get a serious dunk, but the Wolverines still lead by 16 at 42-26. Tom, probably know that face, don't you? Second half, Yaxel Lendenborg will get the dunk after the block shot. He ended up with 26 on the night. Jeremy Fears played very well for the Spartans. He ended up with 31, gets a 3-point play here. However, it would be Michigan going on to win this one, 83-71. They take the lead in the Big Ten Conference, and we will be right back.
Half a century has gone by since we first opened our doors at Household, and we want to say thank you to all the customers that have chosen us since 1971, and welcome those that will continue to make our household their home for home furnishings.
At Big Valley Ford in Ewan, we're more than just a dealership. We're your hometown partner in finding the perfect ride. With a huge selection of high-quality vehicles, there's something here for every lifestyle and every budget. Looking for value? We've got one of the largest selections of pre-owned Ford trucks in the UP, all in excellent condition and low miles, along with a huge selection of new Broncos and trucks all ready to roll. Experience the Big Valley difference at Big Valley Ford in Ewan.
MeTV presents Potter Poetry.
Oh, pony pucks, bull cookies, horse hockey, pigeon pellets, mule muffins, monkey muffins. That's what she said.
Watch Colonel Potter on MASH.
Hot diggity, hot saucy, hot mustard.
Weekdays and Sundays at 7 on MeTV 19.1. Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News.
We spend 1/3 of our lives in bed. Invest in that time with a quality mattress from Household. With top brands for all budgets in our new mattress gallery, you can get the sleep you need to refill your cup and be ready for the day. Stop by Household today, where we sell sleep.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Andersen brand products are #1 in quality, and the Window Store is your local Andersen expert for installation and service of all Andersen windows and doors. From showroom to your home. Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store. Andersen is the #1 trusted window and door brand. The Window Store is the Upper Peninsula's clear choice for windows and doors. Now that's a perfect fit. From showroom to your home, Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store.
And a final check of your forecast. It's definitely been a bitter cold January as a whole. We've just been well below average, and I'll have some more statistics and the numbers to wrap up January for next week. But we will be entering a new month this weekend, turning a new leaf. The highs for tomorrow is already going to feel a little bit better with some sunshine and into the mid-20s and lower 20s for most of the UP. The feels like temperature also improving on that front, and we'll be in the single digits for the feels like, and slight improvements throughout the day. We may even see the feels like basically matching the air temperatures. The biggest component of that is going to be that shift in the wind from Saturday night into Sunday. We'll get the southerly flow. It's still going to be dry. It's very dry. It's hard for any snow to get going, so that is pretty low on the snow outlook for the next 48 hours. Again, maybe a little bit of some snow for Sunday night, but then all eyes are on the forecast for Punxsutawney's Phil thoughts for Groundhog Day on Monday, and then for the rest of the week we'll stay cold, cloudy with a few flurries, and staying in the mid-20s.
Kelly, thank you again. Mike, college basketball has completely demoralized me tonight, so I'm not going to say anything else the rest
Fine,
of the
I
show.
will talk about something else then. With the victory tonight, NMU, the hockey team, moved into 8th place in the CCHA standings, so I know Wildcat fans will be happy about that. Things going on tomorrow. Michigan Tech will be hosting cross-country skiing, and there will also be events for high school skiers up there as well, both on Saturday and Sunday. In Munising, as long as the weather holds out, the last meet of the regular season for competitive cheer will be taking place. The Mid-Peninsula Conference Wrestling Tournament will be over at Negaunee, and NMU and Michigan Tech basketball teams looking for victories after falling on Thursday.
Send us out, Mike.
Okay, have a good weekend. Hopefully it'll get warmer.
Lilly Broadcasting stands with the people of Iran.
Andersen brand products are #1 in quality, and the Window Store is your local Andersen expert for installation and service of all Andersen windows and doors. From showroom to your home. Andersen Windows and Doors at the Window Store.
We lend locally, we live locally, we care locally. At Range Bank,